Hi everyone, in this video what I want to do is Puzzle Rush Survival. My record is 57. Why does it say 54 on the leaderboard? I don't know. Anyway, Puzzle Rush Survival. Play. Alright. So the first few are usually pretty straightforward, so we'll just get them out of the way. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Right, this one. Just checkmate. Right, so we kind of need to start thinking now. Here, knight check. So queen takes, we're fine. If queen doesn't take, then you're going to one of those squares. Is there a better option? I don't see it. Oh, is it bishop check? So the king must move to a white square diagonal. Then this bishop check, because it's defended by the knight. Defended by the knight. Oh, come on. All right. Yes. Boom. 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 Here. Check here. Sorry, check on this square. We've got that square and that square. I don't have an obvious checkmate there. All right. Bishop check, king here. And I don't think I have a follow-up. What else could it be? Check here. I don't see it. Ah, this pawn is hanging. Sometimes I forget which direction pawns are going in. That's just a normal checkmate, right? Alright, so we're in check. We're threatening checkmate. So here, what are you going to do to stop checkmate over here? Are we threatening checkmate? Yeah, we are. The only other legal move was that, so presumably here. Oh, and then we skewer the queen, do we? Maybe it's not a checkmate this time. Yeah, I didn't see checkmate. All right, we are white in this puzzle. No, we are black in this puzzle. Okay, so checkmate, right? The pawn's going that way, right? Checkmate. Check here. King takes the knight. Let's keep calculating. Check here. Pawn push. King takes pawn. No, I don't see a follow-up. Oh, there was this check. Let's try again. Here. King check. King takes knight. Pawn push. Check. King takes pawn. Check. It just feels like you're running away, and it'll be very hard to checkmate you after that. How do I get this mating net happening? Also, I'm just now realizing that that check's not even on the board. All right. So, am I doing this? I was looking for a checkmate. All right, so queen takes rook, and then we do the fork, like queen takes fork. Okay. Took me a while to realize that it wasn't even a legal move. All right, we have 1 or 2 legal moves. That one is going to be a draw. So here, threatens queen there, checkmate. So you play check. Here you sacrifice the rook. I take with the king, check. Here, check. It's fine. I guess I just win the rook. Yeah. Now, do I take with the queen or the king? No, if I take with the king, checkmate. So we'll take with the queen. I just win the rook. All right. What is your king doing on that square? So I'm looking at check, king takes knight, bishop check. So only legal move is block with the bishop and then checkmate, right? So white won't take the knight. They will move to this square, whereas that's checkmate. Okay, either way, it's checkmate. Oh, all right. That's a free bishop, is it? Why would I think about doing anything other than taking the free bishop and then checkmating on the next move? I don't see why. Right, so apparently we're going to smash open here and then checkmate with the other rook on that square. Only legal move is to take, only legal move is over there, and then checkmate. Aha! Right, so maybe we want to check here, 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 reveal the attack on the queen? No, it's not good enough. I think surely that's the first move and that's the second move. There's a check here, king here, check, here, check, here. It's so close to checkmate. Oh, I've got queen checks in here. All right, let's recalculate. Here, here, bishop check, king here, queen check, king here, bishop check, whoops, king here, queen, bishop blocks, queen, checkmate. Right, the king's on this square, the bishop's guarding all those squares. Can I put a different color? Oh, bishop's guarding that square, the queen is coming along here, and the pawn guarding that, and that's occupied, so it can't be done. Okay, so we have to do this one so we can get in this check and not the other check. Oh. Right. So, whoops, that's an interesting arrow. So we have this diagonal to the king. Unfortunately, it's blocked. Pawn push, sack, take, checkmate. Here, here, take. What if you don't take the sack? Well, then you get checkmated here, don't you? Rook there, here, yeah. Anything else to think about? That's a free piece. And it also is the same thing, right? I gotta worry about back rank mate, but I think we're fine. Right, when you move your F pawn, this diagonal to your king is very weak. So check. So going anywhere but here, queen there, check. Oh, you can't go there, the knight's there. Oh, okay, so it's just checkmate. Oh, you could have, anyway, it doesn't matter. So the rook's in here, the knight's in here, pawn's here. So those are your king's squares. So if I go knight there, that's just checkmate, right? Even though you're threatening checkmate. So. Right, we're going all right. All right, we need to think now. All right, we have a think. So your queen, our queens are facing each other. So queen takes queen, bishop takes, rook takes, hitting this knight, this bishop and this bishop. And your bishops can't defend each other. Unlike knights or a knight and a bishop, bishops can't defend each other. Can you create shenanigans elsewhere on the board? I don't see how you can create shenanigans. So that looks like it wins a piece. Right. Your king is very close to checkmated. So it's got those squares. It's not really good enough, is it? But maybe we can organize some sort of back rank mate. A back rank mate, but a side file mate with, and using the knight to guard those squares and the rook to give the checkmate at the end. So check, let's say king here. It could go to that square. We have to check that later. Now, how do we check the king from here? So let's say here, and if you stay on there, this square, and then you go back and then back rank mate, side file mate. All right. But there's quite a few options. But maybe it's the same thing in different order. Okay, check. Let's say here, check. What if you go here? But then I win the rook. So check king here. Check on this square, I believe. So you go here. Then I check, you go here. Check on this square, protecting this knight, attacking your king. And so this knight guards that square. So you can't defend the rook from that square. This knight guards that square. And the rook is coming in and I'll get the rook. So it is the rook check, I believe. Right, we need to do this precisely. Here, so your options are here when you get this check and then checkmate. Here, you've got this move where we do check and you lose the rook and nothing else to say. And here, check, king here. It's not that straightforward, is it? You're going to go here, check, here, knight, you attack my knights. Rook takes, you take your preferred knight. Perhaps that one looks stronger. And then I run away and say, aha, I won the exchange. That is quite close to promotion, isn't it? I need a checkmate. Anyway, here. Oh, do I have something else on this board? Yeah, it's close to promotion, but if I win your rook, then I stop the pawn. I'll win the pawn as well. So that might be enough. I don't think there's anything else to think about but this, because we can't just allow the pawn to promote and we can't stop it in any other way. So I'll play this. Yeah, so if I check, you go here. I've got this check. I don't think it's any good. Here, only move that saves you the rook, right? Otherwise I just take the rook. Here, you go here, forking my knights. Rook takes rook. I think, which knight? This knight is, which one's more active? I don't know. Here, yeah, I need to move the knight somewhere. Maybe just here. Where do I want it? Oh, here. So it's defended by the king. And next move, I'll take this. It also guards that square. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, you're going to win one of my knights. Right, so that would be checkmate were it not for this square. Oh, hold on. That's just checkmate. Oh, all right, let's do that. All right, we have a stalemated king. When you have a stalemated king, it's very powerful to check them. It's generic checkmate, right? Bishop here. I don't think there's anything else to think about, really. Right. So taking that rook would be checkmate. Unfortunately, I'm in check. Right. So, well, the legal moves are king here, king here, king here, pawn push. Pawn push does nothing, so I think we'll just ignore that. King here looks like I'm going to get checkmated. There's no real point. But let's calculate. I mean, it does reveal attack on the queen, and you don't have that check. But I'm not sure. You go here, defend the rook. You're fine. Yeah, I've also got this check, which is quite brutal. If I go here, I don't have an end to... If I go there, you just check. And I can't block with the bishop. So I think that one's out. Also, you've got this check. Oh, so either one of those is very susceptible to this check. So that makes the most sense. And if you check here, I can block with the bishop. But am I winning that? Not obvious to me that I'm winning that. So check, rook blocks, nothing. Maybe I should look at pawn push. Queen takes, then here. Yeah, so the reason to do this is, got this check. Here, block, rook here. Yeah, with the bishop pinned, I don't have this check. So I'm material down, right? I'm down in exchange. My king is wide open and vulnerable. What else could it be? So let's just make sure we've excluded this comprehensively. There, we've got rook check. Let's say bishop blocks. Kind of unconvincing. Bishop blocks. Yeah, I don't know. White seems fine in that line. White seems fine as soon as they move the rook there. Rook there. Rook here, king there, I'm going to get checkmated probably. So my only, well, aside from blocking with the queen, I can move here or here. Here, I find it very hard to believe I will survive this. Oh, I can block with the bishop. Probably not. And you get this check or something. I think that we just exclude from common sense. Here, check. It kind of allows white to solve one of their problems, but this is still hanging. Then you want this check, don't you? And I can't block with the bishop because the bishop's pinned. Yeah, that has to be the best move. And I have to block with the bishop. But I'm not convinced I'm winning this. Okay, engine has seen something. So I'm anticipating here, here. And what else? Take the pawn? I don't know. What? What? You just leave your rook hanging. Why don't you move your rook to safety? All right. So, check, king here, double check and mate. Here, rook takes, queen takes. Yeah. Oh, all right. Sometimes they're like super simple and other times they're not. So here, and then back rank mate, right? Here, there's no funny business. I think we're fine. This is frustrating. Sometimes they're so ludicrously easy and other times, yeah, other times it's not a big deal. Right. That's a move to look at, but I don't see anything good after that. And we need a follow off because we've got two pieces hanging. There's a check here. You just take it and nothing. There's a check here. You just take it and nothing. What else could it be? If it must be that, right? Even though because you come in here and attack the rook. Yeah, that's the idea. So you give up your knight and take the rook. Yeah, all right. We have a revealed attack on a king. But those are the squares the bishop can move to, and none of them are all... Oh, what about that one? So king moves somewhere, or bishop blocks maybe, so you can castle. Here, what's going on with this rook? What's going on with this rook, Sonny Jim? What's going on with this rook? So here is the right move, right? Oh, I'm going to win a full rook, aren't I? All right. Because you can't... Oh, maybe you can defend it like this. Oh, no, you can't move your king forward because the rook covers it. And that means if I take here, yeah, you'll lose a full piece. Yeah, reveal, check. Yeah, so your knight can't come to this square, but you can go here so you don't lose a full rook. All right, we'll slip in an in-between move. All right, so checkmate, right? Once you've seen that pattern 20 times over, it's not a big deal. Here, check, here, checkmate, yeah. I've probably seen it hundreds of times rather than 20 times over. So bishops can sometimes be rather double attackable because they can't defend each other. I need to deal with back rank mate issues, but I think we're cool. So rook here, rook takes, we're fine. And my rook defends my bishop, so I think it's just generic double attack. Or is it a pin or a skewer or somewhere in between? Right. Well, that's a fork, isn't it? You attack. So we're now up to the level of moves where our opponent has counterplay, and we need to calculate our opponent's moves. In the past puzzles, it's like you just play the obvious correct move, and that's the win. But now we have to calculate our opponent's counterplay. So here, forking the bishop and the knight, and instead of just resigning, we need to be careful of bishop takes here and bishop check. Fortunately, there's a pawn there, but if bishop check was a move, then we'd just lose the queen. There's this one. Now we have to leave our queen hanging, don't we? Pawn takes knight, hitting the queen. Bishop takes queen, pawn takes queen. Yeah, but we need to calculate that in advance. Are there any other shenanigans, or do I just win a piece? What shenanigans might be? Oh, you have pawn push. Pawn push, queen takes. I'm happy with that. Yep, I don't see any more shenanigans here. and we have to take the knight with the pawn. We're giving up our queen in return for their queen. Right, so we've got, bang, we got some firepower, oops, some firepower on this king side. This knight is preventing checkmate for now. So this may just be a simple removal of defender. And if you take here, and if you take here, you have to deal with this fork and lose your rook. That could be it. So look at all checks and captures. Check. We have to worry about back rank mate. We have to worry about rook takes... Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, rook takes pawn, queen takes is the only legal move. Knight takes queen. All right. Let's think more carefully then. Are we doing bishop takes pawn, king takes, queen takes knight because the bishop is pinned? Let's recalculate. So I'm hitting your rook and your bishop, so it's a double attack. Do you have, what if you don't take? You can choose to not take that. Oh, I take your rook. Right. So it is a fork, so you must take, and then I take your knight, threatening your rook and bishop. So how can you save both of them? Let's say queen here. And then is there a win? Rook takes check, queen takes. Yeah, no, I can't do that because it's undefended. Ah, queen takes pawn check. So king will be on one of those squares. There's a bishop here still, so we don't have a rook check. Wow, all right, it got complicated. Here, king takes. The best move is queen takes knight, right? Queen takes knight. So queen here to defend the bishop and rook. Is there any pin it and win it chances? I don't know. I don't see pin it and win it chances. So like queen here, pawn push. Unfortunately, your rook can take that pawn. Oh, your rook can take the pawn and it just leaves it hanging. Oh, wow. Did you see that? Bishop takes pawn check. If you don't take, I take your rook with the bishop. So you must take it. And then I take your knight, hitting this rook and this bishop. Oh, you could defend like that, couldn't you? Yes, you could. Yes, you could. That's an issue. But let's just recalculate here. This queen takes, pawn takes, pawn push attacking the pinned bishop. Rook takes, and now the bishop is undefended. And there's no checkmate here because I have a second rook. All right. But bishop, king, take, pawn push, defending the bishop and the rook. I want to do pin it and win it again, but it's a little tricky. Check, king moves, and now it's a fork of the rook and the bishop. Wow. You don't have a check because of this pawn and knight. You don't have any shenanigans. The bishop's defending there. Wow. All right, I think that's the move. and then queen takes knight, here, check, fork. We didn't get to play it out, but all right. I have 2 queens. All right. I mean check. This is a check. So presumably one of my legal moves is just a perpetual and the rest are not. Pawn push here. I have to block with the queen, do I? I could get checkmated too. Pawn push, rook here, here. I have no control over this diagonal. So check, pawn push, checkmate. Pawn push, rook. Yeah, I have to block with the queen, which may not be the worst move. Rook takes here. Check. Oh, that's going to be a perpetual, isn't it? Here, check, back, check, here, check. Yeah, that's a perpetual. All right, pawn push is a perpetual. We've calculated, assuming I don't blunder and checkmate. King here. I don't see even a single check. You have this check, which I block. Hold on. What if I king here, here, and then pawn push? Now you're out of checks. I'm out of checks. Right? No more checks. And I'm threatening this one. So king here, check, pawn push. You're out of checks. I mean, you can take my pawn or something with your queen, but nothing sensible. All right. And the other ones will probably just... Oh, these are no good, aren't they? Yeah, so if you go... if white goes to either of those squares, check, you must go back, take, and now you've got perpetual. So king forward is the only move that prevents perpetual. All right. Wow, double attack. The almighty double check. Oh, and then we have to put the rook in for checkmate, but yeah. Right. What is my rook doing all up in your jammy? Could this be a back rank mate? Sorry. Rook takes, check. You could take with the king. I haven't thought about that. Yeah, I was thinking rook takes, check. Oh, you can also do pawn push and block with the queen. Right, well, let's have a look at rook takes pawn. If king takes, checkmate, right? We have a bishop on this square. So bishop takes, check. Your only legal move is blocking with the rook here. Okay, so that's checkmate, right? Rook takes pawn. Here, checkmate. Rook takes pawn. You've only got 2 legal moves, and that is checkmate. Yeah. Right. We're doing all right. So I feel like we're doing some sort of checkmate here. Checkmate. Probably. Check. Your legal moves are king here, king here, king here. And no matter which one it is, it's... Oh, that square's not guarded. It's not checkmate. All right, recalculate. So let's consider this one instead. You've only got 1 legal move. Rook, check here, and then queen takes. Yeah, here. Right, there's nothing else to calculate, right? No other legal moves. Rook, and your only legal move is queen block, and then yeah. So when your opponent only has 1 legal move each turn, it can be quite easy to calculate. All right, it's pretty close to checkmate. we're very low on pieces. I'm tempted to think it's this move threatening rook here, double check and mate. So if you do something like pawn push, I can go rook takes pawn, revealed check on the king. The rook defends the escape square. And if you move this pawn here, is double check and mate. Yeah, you can block with the pawn, but only momentarily. Yeah. Rook takes pawn. How do you prevent checkmate? So if you dilly-dally, I just checkmate like that. So threatening this checkmate and a whole bunch of other checkmates. What shenanigans are on this board? Can you attack my bishop? Can you attack my rook? Yeah, if you take, it's just checkmate. Or have I miscalculated? No. If you take, check, knight blocks, queen takes, king, checkmate. It is checkmate. So rook takes pawn, very serious contender. Comes with like 20 different threats. I don't know. Well, these rooks can't move, so we don't have to worry about that. Knight moves here. So rook there, knight here. Checkmate. All right. Rook moves, knight here, checkmate. All right, so a knight move, any of the knight moves. Oh, what about that one? Here, take, check. Yeah, that's going to be checkmate, right? So if knight blocks, we've still got this checkmate. Pawn push. Oh, we just take it. Yeah. Other than that, you've got bishop here blocking my queen. Double check and mate. So no other bishop moves even matter, right? Bishop moves matter. No, that's a check. So the only way to prevent the check is here, right? And I get to choose my preferred checkmate. Queen block, any queen moves worth thinking about. So what about queen here? Double check and mate. Yeah. And none of these pawn moves really mean anything. None of these mean, well, this one I have to do that checkmate. This one I have to do this checkmate. Hold on, let's recalculate. Here, check. And you have to block. You block with the knight. Queen takes checkmate. Okay. Here, nothing. All right, we take with the rook. We take with the bishop. You block with the knight. And then we take. All right, we're going good. We're slicing open the king side, but at what cost? Oh, wow. So this knight check comes with a revealed attack, a revealed check. So you have to stay on, yeah, this kind of position can be brutal. So the knight covers those two squares, and the queen, oh, let's choose another color, slices through here. And the bishop, can we do another color? What about this one? Oh, it worked. Covers that square. So after check, your king has to move to, say, here, when I can take this with a revealed attack on a revealed check on your king, which means you can't recapture. But yeah, so you pawn push, otherwise you get checkmated on this square. So pawn push. Maybe I just take the pawn again. It is also tempting to go knight check, let's say king here, rook takes check. Because it hits your queen and king. So maybe you want to go here. But if you do that, then double check. You must move your king. Those are your legal moves. And either way, queen there, checkmate. Yeah, that's just brutal, isn't it? It's different. Oh, all right, you could just do that. Oh, oh, I nearly played queen takes queen. So we have to do this as an in-between move. Otherwise we could lose the rook. Hold on, I didn't even think about this. Here, rook takes, king here, rook check, here. No, there's no shenanigans, right? Just make sure you do the in-between move. I've only got, well, essentially got one legal move. The other one would be checkmate. Right, you have sacrificed. Do you have enough oomph in your sacrifice? I guess we're going to find out. So my queen will very quickly want to come and defend. Knight on here will be quite good at preventing checkmate, right? Thing is, you're going to move your king across and rook over here. So take, queen defends knight. Now I get a revealed attack on your queen if you move your king here. So you'll move here, but that allows this check. And you can either block this path to my king or I'll go here, allow that check. Here, here. Yeah. So you don't even have any good checks. This bishop's out of the game. This rook's out of the game. So I'm only concerned about you playing rook here. All right, here, here, queen here. Let's just say you try, I don't know, no, that's game over. Here, sorry. Pawn takes, queen takes, rook takes, king here, check, king in the corner, check, king back, check, king back in the corner. I need to get that. Oh, sorry, I just realized this check exchanges queens. Oh, all right. So here, that's plenty then. If I can exchange queens, I'll be fine. I can just move my king across and, or maybe on this square because you've got a light squared bishop, and then rook and trade rooks, and we're fine. Here, here, nothing else to consider, right? Rook here. Sorry, that's a queen. Queen h4. And the only thing I'm scared about is you moving your king. That one's out because of revealed attack on the queen. And that one is out because I go here and exchange off queens and goodbye attack. Yeah, so let's say queen takes there. And if you don't move your king, you can do something super slow if you like. So what would I do in that circumstance? Maybe I would have to do something super slow as well. All right, here, here, queen here, rook here. So you're going to play king here, then there. Sorry, here, 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 here. Rook, king, rook hitting your queen, and your queen has to run away, and yeah, I can just move my king to a safe square and I'm fine. All right. So queen there seems adequate. And I just trade off queens if you move your king to that square. I suppose I could also counterattack. I don't know, there's no need. I'm already winning. Just need to adios that queen. Oh, I didn't even think about that. So obviously I'm not going to let you point your bishop at my king. What am I going to do? I could take the pawn and try to trade off queens thusly. Here, yeah, you can't take my pawn because that activates my knight, hitting a bishop here with this fork here and everything. So I don't think you're going to do that. You could do this and that. That is a threat, isn't it? So here, pawn push, knight here, threatening to trade off queens. Oh, if I go here, you've got this check. Here, perpetual. Oh, my knight can block. Yeah, so queen takes pawn. And then check, knight blocks. Pawn push. Can I just do pawn push? And say, no, my... So a knight, when they're right adjacent to the king like that, can be a very good defender against a queen, because it takes away lots of natural checking squares. It blocks one line, and the diagonal, the squares you want to check on with a queen are guarded by the knight. Yeah, they can be quite powerful. However, maybe I should just go bang. Maybe that's fine, right? So this is still out because of that. This, I trade off queens. If you take, I'm taking with the knight. Pawn push. Are you going to get checkmated? Here, maybe. Maybe not. But I'm no longer scared if I can get my queens traded off or something. Yeah. Pawn push. The other option is take the pawn. Knight here. Here, so if you check block with the knight. Pawn push makes sense because I can rook lift. Because, I mean, I can defend with attack. Yes, I'm not just saying I'm winning because I'm a piece up. I can say I'm winning because of this as well. Here. Ah, then you've got this check here. Hold on here. Block with the knight. That's also okay. I don't understand. Like, it seems like any sensible move would win. Is there any reason not to just take the pawn? Kind of keeps your king. Yeah, your king can't move. What are you going to do? Rook lift. Here. Check, knight blocks, pawn push. Is there a way to get rid of the queen? Here, here. Queen here, hitting the... Trying to exchange our queens. I don't know. Queen takes pawn. Pawn here. Check, knight blocks. So it's a puzzle. One is good, one is bad. Right? That's my understanding. Is there anything I'm afraid of in this line? Check, knight blocks. Pawn push. Pawn push is nothing when I've got a pawn here. It's not a big deal. So here, check, knight blocks, and now the king can move here. All right. Queen takes pawn. King moves somewhere here. So if you moved in the corner originally, then I could take this pawn. All right, you're in the corner. I just want to stick my queen on that square, don't I? So check here, here. Trade off queen's next move. Pawn push seems good. Queen takes pawn seems good as well. Queen takes pawn, take, knight, knight takes, pawn push. I'm unconvinced, but maybe it's enough. Take, take. I guess I can take with this pawn as well. What am I missing? There has to be a way of determining this versus this. Or is it just here? It can't be F5, can it? It's a bit risky. Like, but take rook here. Adios is the queen. One way or another. I don't want to give up material. Queen takes pawn. What have you got that's scary? I really don't see it. Here, take, pawn push, take. Assuming you take back. I think you have to, right? Pawn push. Try to get a pawn on that square, but check. King here. Here I don't see a concrete win. Here, check. I'm not sure what to do. There's this move, and I don't know which is best. I think I'll just take the pawn. All right. And so the idea was to go here and try to trade off queens. So I didn't expect you to come in this way. Here. Yeah, I want to trade off queens immediately. I'm threatening checkmate, so what alternatives are there? Here, it's threatening trade off queen, you're going to check. I go here, now I'm threatening this. So I think you have to take the queen, right? All right. I was lucky that time. I just did the greedier approach. So, revealed attack on the queen and attacking the bishop at the same time. You're obviously not going to just sit around and let me take your bishop. So maybe you'll check on this square and I will do pawn push and you'll take, and then I'll do pawn push and your queen will run away and then I take a bishop. All right, here. What is this like bomb cloud opening or something? it is the bomb cloud, isn't it? Here. Yeah, you must do some shenanigans, and these pieces are just undeveloped, so they're not going to be relevant. So the only check you have, checks are on those squares. This one, I can just do this one. And here, I have to prepare it with this one. You don't have a check here. Yeah. So I do this, so I keep attacking your queen. And then I just take here, right? And that's the end of the story. With a bomb cloud. Right, en passant. Is it forced? In a sense. Threatens checkmate. I mean, attacks the bishop, threatens checkmate. How do you solve both those problems at once? How do you solve both those problems at once? This is defended by the queen. All right, so you prevent checkmate and I take a bishop. What's that? So you can't do something like that because that's checkmate as well. So this checkmate, you can defend like that. Why would it be anything but en passant? Maybe it's just higher rated because people didn't realize en passant was a legal move here. En passant. What are the shenanigans on this board? I don't know. I don't see shenanigans. I'm going to en passant. Oh, I didn't see that actually. But it wins a full rook. Oh, the shenanigans are I'm down a full rook. So take here. So you've got two rooks attacked at once. And I'm threatening to take this one with promotion. Maybe you'll take... No. You have to go here. Do you? No, you'll want to go maybe to this square and defend your other rook. No, take. It's not defended. You can't take because I promote. Yeah, so we take the queen, take here, and the like super pass pawn is pretty strong. So I think that's correct. And here, all right, you take the pawn. And I'm off a bishop. All right, going good, going good. Right, look at all checks and captures. So there are captures. So presumably we want this bishop to capture this bishop. So if we say knight takes here, you take, bishop takes bishop. Rook moves, pawn. We've got a queen thing going on here as well now. What if I do this first? Does that change anything? So if I take the pawn, like queen takes, rook takes, say, knight moves, nothing really. Yeah. So knight takes pawn. Does it come with a threat? So what if you just move? Do you see a threat? Ah, the threat is knight here, hitting here. So you have to go back and then I can grab here, win a piece. Right, so it does come with a threat. So the threat is knight here, if you try to defend. All right, so you're forced to take. So bishop takes bishop. Do you have checks or any other shenanigans? So you've got pawn push, but then I take, you take in some way, I take here, and I'm up a piece. Here, here, here. I'm hitting a rook, and the rook is undefended. So it would be a full rook if I took that rook. So rook moves attacking my bishop. Pawn push attacking the knight. I'm up a piece, right? I've got two bishops and a knight in this position. So if queen takes, rook takes, say, now I'm threatening check to save my bishop and your knight. So if rook takes, pawn takes, and I'm up a piece. So knight there looks very strong. If I do that, then you take with the pawn and all those moves are gone. So knight takes, and I take here, hitting your rook, and you have to deal with that serious threat before anything else. You don't have any sneaky in-between checks. Note the bishop maintains the defense of that square. And I take here. We'll probably exchange queens. Yeah, but I'm already a piece up in this position. All right. Now I do not take the queen because you retract. I take here. All right, just a moment. I need the bathroom. All right, where were we? Right. King F1. Wow. So king there, we have no way to extricate it. And you're saying I win this. Yeah, we only have a dark squared bishop, so we can't move that king. What it does mean, if the king doesn't move, pawn push must be played. So are any of the pawn pushes good? All right, so bishop here might make sense. Problem is, you just go there. And check. King, stalemate the king. Not that straightforward, is it? We have to be ultra precise. So here, so if you do that, let's say we do a sort of, maybe this check, for example, and you go back and let's just do nothing. Hold on. If I put my bishop here, my pawn, my bishop forms an impenetrable barrier. So my king can come over here. But my king cannot stop promotion alone. Although my bishop guards those two squares from this square. Right, so let's just say bishop here. And then I'm just going to use my king to eat those 3 pawns. Because your king is stuck in this little prison over here. I'll have the bishop here. That's an interesting prison. All right, here. So pawn push I take, pawn push I take. This one seems to be your move. Here, pawn push, take, take. Here, pawn push. No, that's not good enough, is it? Here, pawn push. Here, attacking the pawn. Here, take, take, take. I mean, that pawn should be enough in itself. I'll win this pawn for free. We just have to stop these pawns. So here, I want you to do this, so I can do this. Attack here. If pawn push, I go back. Oh, pawn here. Oh, that's a little tricky, isn't it? All right. Here, pawn push. Here, pawn push. Here. Now what you gonna do, son? Pawn push. Yeah. This is brutal because it's a breakthrough tactic. All right. All right, so here, I'll get my bishop on this square. So it guards that square in front of the pawn. Maybe I can do pawn push and just dilly-dally. I mean, I'll win this pawn. Here, king here. I can just do the check, king there, stalemate. But I need to watch out for actual stalemate. Oh, but I don't, maybe I don't stalemate. I just move the bishop. And then the king runs away, and then I promote the pawn. Yeah, that looks very promising. So, what if we just do pawn? No, we want the bishop over here. So if you push any one of these pawns, I just take it. I can take it. bishop here. So king moves wherever, or you can give me as many pawns as you like. I'm happy with that too. King moves wherever, pawn push, king moves in front of the pawn, otherwise it promotes, or I get the king move. Check here, and then I just do nothing. And you start giving me your pawns if you feel like it. King move, promote. You cancel promotion. That looks promising. So here, it's the right move, right? Here, pawn push, king there. So I can't get you to move your king, but I can get you to move one of your non-kings. Look at all these non-kings. Here, take, yeah. If you move your king there, then I can go here and promote. All right, let's do it. Nom 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 nom. All right. Take with the bishop. I need to prevent this one. All right. Engines. I'm telling you. That's totally whack. Right. So the first thing we need to pay attention to is we have a bishop over here that's guarding these light squares. So it's going to be a checkmate, right? Check. So the rook prevents those. So you've only got one legal move. We need to do this one. So you need to move into a square where there's a revealed check. Oh, maybe it's not a checkmate, but let's see. Here. The knight, this knight guards that square. So we don't have this check. Oh, sorry. What have I done? Here, if you go, yeah, your only legal move is here. So we've got two knights. Two knights. I think we use this knight to check. So we maintain a watch on that square. So the king is on one of those squares and we need to do a revealed check. We need to watch out for this one. So let's do both here. So the king is trying to escape out here. Not so straightforward. What about this check? I know it looks ridiculous at first glance, but let's have a look. Because the bishop's guarding that square, the knight's guarding that square. Is there like some way in? Yeah, it looks ridiculous at first glance because it is ridiculous. Okay. This is the only move worth considering then, right? Check. So, only legal move. Let's here. If you go in a corner, is there a checkmate? Probably, right? Here, you go back. So I need to check, get the knight on this square. So the bishop's on here and the knight is on this square, hitting here and here. Knight gets those ones and the bishop gets those ones, right? So check, king here, knight check, let's say king in the corner, knight check on this, bishop check, revealed check on by moving the knight to this square. You can put the king back, but then that's checkmate. Okay, and so here, this knight checks, king here, check, pawn push, bishop takes pawn, knight in, checkmate. So this knight guards that square. This knight guards those squares, and this bishop guards those squares, and that's the checkmate. The rook isn't really participating, which is kind of wacky. All right, here, check, here, here. So there were only 2 legal moves, both of them were checkmate. All right, so here, and this knight will go here. So we'll do the same idea here. So what are your legal moves? So if pawn push, bishop takes, king here. No, yeah, that's a legal move. That's an issue. That's a legal move. Hold on, my knight on this square is defending my bishop on this square, which means knight check. And you don't have any legal moves. That is an amazing checkmate. Did you see? The king ends up on this square. There is a knight. This knight works its way over to this square. So that covers those 2 squares. And the bishop slicing through yellow, covering those squares. Oh, but it moves to this square. And it's defended by this knight over here. Oh, this knight which is guarding those 2 squares. Wow. All right, here, here, no, here, here, check, here. This check. Now, if you don't block with the pawn, can you block with the knight? I'll just take whichever knight you block with. That means nothing. So your other legal moves are knight, king back, check, mate. All right. There are no other legal moves. Pawn push, bishop takes. Yeah, if king there, check, knight on there. Oh, well, the king moves to either of those squares and it's still checkmate. Wow. So here, this one. Because we need the knight to cover here and protect the bishop if it has to take this pawn. So here, and it's extremely important to go to this square because we want our knight to jump here. Check. So here, checkmate. And here, pawn push, take, same checkmate. Oh, all right. Oh, all right. Right, we're going good. 52, that's pretty good. Well, we have a discovered attack on a king, but we also have a queen all up in white's jammy. We are in a fair amount of trouble ourselves. So I have a feeling this is not going to be our I win a piece kind of thing, unless it's the queen. Right, so look at all checks and captures. When you have a revealed check, you have, in this case, there's 8 different moves which are check by the knight alone. Look at all of them? Maybe. Anyway, we'll need our queen to come in somewhere. So we should organize it so that that's possible. So let's say knight takes pawn, because that allows queen to come in here. And that's pretty brutal. Here you take checkmate. All right, that's pretty brutal. All right, if you don't take, you can block with the bishop. Checkmate. All right. Oh, it's not checkmate. You've got king here. It's going to be checkmate, right? Bishop takes bishop, knight blocks, checkmate. One way or another. All right. So knight there. Yeah, so normally I would not consider giving up a knight for free. But when it's like, oh, if I get my queen there next to white's king, it's worth it. Bang. And it is just mate in one if you take it. All right. So what are the other legal moves? bishop block leads to checkmate. King takes is mate in 1. So here, here, here. That's it. They're your legal moves, right? So let's just calculate them. King here, checkmate. All right, that one's done. Knight takes, king here, check. Knight blocks, checkmate. Here, oh, that's not legal. Yes. So here, after the knight jumps here, those are out. So those 3 are out. The bishop's on here, so that one's out. So those are your 3. Oh, this one's not legal, of course. So you've only got 2 legal moves. Well, there are 4 legal moves in total, right? Here, here, or here. And they all get met with this one and checkmate. And if you block with a bishop, it also is the same thing. All right. Wow, all right, we have been revealed checked. This knight is defended by a pawn and we cannot take it. If we move, the rook's going to come in. Wait, we've only got 1 legal move, right? Oh, 2 legal moves. That seems pointless. Unless we want to get the rook over here somewhere, there's no reason to just give up a bishop. All right, so here you're going to come in here and hit my queen with your rook. So my queen moves to a square and maintains the defense of this rook, let's say here. And you're going to do something really horrible and nasty, I can tell. Queen takes here. Threatening to take here. So rook here maybe is enough to control all those threats. What's material like? I'm up a full rook, so white sacrificed a rook for this attack. So king here, here, queen takes, knight takes. My rook is hanging. Rook here. So I've got 2 rooks. Oh, maybe, no, I can't defend a pawn. So knight takes pawn. You're going to grab this pawn. No, it's not great. King here. Rook takes. Queen takes knight. Pawn takes. King takes rook. Queen takes rook. Not good enough. I would lose that, I think. So here, here, defend. Is there an alternative? My queen is on. I don't see a square I can defend a rook. Here, rook here, and try to exchange everything off as quickly as possible. My bishop guards that square, so you don't have another check. And if rook takes rook, pawn takes rook, forking queen and knight. And if you don't take the rook, then what? All right. But I've only got 2 legal moves, and obviously bishop block is not a good move, so we'll just play king there. So I need to defend this rook, right? There's no sneaky checks or anything, right? This one, unfortunately, my rook is hanging as well. So queen defends rook. And the only thing scary I see after that is queen takes pawn, maintaining the attack on this rook, hitting this. And rook there seems like it solves all those problems. And yeah, it'll kind of adios this rook. Oh, the rook's trapped, is it? Wow, the rook is trapped. So rook takes here. Knight takes. No, my queen defends this rook as well. King takes. I guess that's the move. It's not something I'd want to play, but all right. And then I go here. Yeah, I can't let you just bang, destroy me. So I block it here, and if you take, you get forked, which is kind of cool. And you don't have any checks because bishop. Yeah, queen defends his pawn. I'm starting to counterattack, but it's not much at the moment. Yeah, I should be able to trade off, maybe even win material. All right, we're going good. All right, going good. 54. I'm not sure what my record was. It was 57, wasn't it? Right. Is your queen trapped? Oh, it's not exactly trapped, is it? Here, queen air. what a wacky queen trap it were it to be a queen trap. Here, it's just a free rook. Let's exclude that as an option. So it would be nice to play queen to this square. Oh, then you could just defend anyway, could you? Oh no, because the bishop's on there. So is there any way to double up on the 7th? Here, queen here. And now I go here. And you take my rook and I resign. Okay, we don't do that. So my bishop's hanging. You've also got this check. I need to bear that in mind. So let's just recalculate this. Here, queen, queen takes queen, rook takes queen. How close is this to promotion? Not very. Not very at all. I don't know, pawn push, give yourself some luft. Yeah, it's bishop there. Not convincing. Bishop here, one of these checks. Did that help me? So, all right. We've only got a few pieces on the board. We can kind of brute force it. Calculate all the moves that are legal by the bishop. Do any of them mean anything? Here, I don't know, you just take it. Right? Here, defend. In one way or another. Here, I don't know, it just says check me, and then what? Nothing. I do have these back rank things going on, but maybe you can just give yourself luft and it's like, aha, I laughed in the face of your back rank mate threats. But it's not that exciting, is it? All right. My bishop does defend this rook, which means my queen could move here. Pawn push, pawn push. Oh, now we're talking. Queen here. So if you do not take my queen and facilitate my pawn going forward, what do you do? Oh, you take my queen and then take the bishop. Yeah, that's just a blunder. So I can't just do something sort of... Oh, hold on. Pawn push. So my bishop is hanging, but boom, whoops-a-daisy. Whoops-a-daisy. Double whoops-a-daisy. Your queen is pinned, but your queen has got there. Okay, so if I move my bishop willy-nilly, bang, game over. Oh, hold on. Counter whoops-a-daisy. All right, there's no need to go into such shenanigans. Here, here, here. I just don't see the point. Bishop here, you can check me with your preferred piece and just give yourself Luft next move. It's not forcing. Bishop here, queen check. I don't know. What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. All right, what are the queen moves? Yeah, queen move. There, it just doesn't do anything, right? Here. Oh, you don't have removal of defender, but you've got check here. All right, just here with the idea of going here. Well, what do? Do you just go knight here and say, no, you don't get that square. I get that square instead. Okay. I just want to play queen here. That's it. That's my entire plan. Then you go rook here and say, my knight guards that square and that square, and my rook guards that square. No doubling up for you, and you can also just take my queen. And then give yourself Luft and you're fine. All right. Rook takes pawn is nothing, right? Because we don't have this one. Rook here, you take and nothing. Queen there, you take with a knight. I really don't see it. Let's brute force it. Rook here, 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 here. There, you take it. Here. Rook here, you have to go here. Let's say queen here. Queen here, I want to double up over here. It defends my bishop. At the same time, knight here, double up. Oh, double up, it's really strong. So here, here, yeah. So maybe you just go here and say, no double up for you. And then do I just walk my pawn? Walk this pawn! Walk this pawn! I don't know. Wow. Rook here, queen here, queen here. That's the best I've got thus far. And then rook preventing there and pawn push. Luft, pawn push. Maybe it is just get your pieces out of the way and push the pawn. All right. So rook here, I don't know, free rook. Rook here, free bishop. No shenanigans I can see. Rook here, free bishop. Rook here, you can take the rook or the bishop, whichever you prefer. All right, queen moves. We'll brute force it. Queen takes rook. Reject. Queen here, take. reject. There's nothing there, is there? Queen there, knight takes, queen here. Oh, it was queen takes, and then you don't take the bishop because of this. All right, recalculate. Queen here, queen takes, pawn takes. Give yourself luft. Now you are threatening here, so I have to move it somewhere. I have to move it. Here? I don't know, take. It's unconvincing. You're just going to check and put your rook behind the passed pawn. That should be enough to make sure it doesn't move too far forward. Check. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's a win, but it's hard to see. Queen here, here means nothing, right? Queen there, queen takes rook is tactically unsound as well. Yeah, actually, they're all tactically unsound. You just lose a bishop. Okay. So, no pawn moves are worth considering, right? Here, rook takes bishop. Here, checkmate. No, not checkmate. Take, queen takes rook. It's game over. It's not checkmate. And like none of these pawn moves are worth considering. All right, so the only move I've encountered that seems plausible is rook here. Queen there, and we don't exchange queens. We play queen here, and then we just walk the pawn up. 1, 2, 3 to this square, and then put a rook here and try to promote the pawn. All right, shall we do that? I'm not sure if this is correct. This could be my first one I'm getting wrong. Boom. Yeah, I got it wrong. Can we go back and see what I did wrong? I did not see it. Rook b8 is the best move. What? Oh, sorry. Queen b8, bishop d6. Then what? Oh, is the queen trap? What about the check? Rook d8. Rook a8. Is that the idea? All right, that was a little complicated. I simply did not see it. All right, I got one wrong. 54. Where's all my material? All right, so presumably it's check, only legal move. Take the rook. So you've got 2 legal moves. You don't want to go there because I win your queen and game over. So check here, here, here. So rook takes rook. Is that enough to declare victory? Threatened checkmate. You don't have back rank mate. Maybe it is enough. It's strong, but let's continue. Here. Queen. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Pause for a second. I need a drink. All right, where were we? So, still not great, but all right. Queen e2 check. Only legal move. Queen takes rook. Here. Only legal move worth considering. So we have this in between, this check here. So if king here, is it any good? I don't know if that helped me. I mean, you can go back, right? Oh, but then I've got this check. Yeah, no, you can't go back. Here, 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 check. You have to go to this square. Or forward. So your king's on one of those squares. Yeah, if your king's on there, I can just take a rook, right? Here, here, take here. Yeah, your queen defends that rook. So I need to do this check. Oh, yeah, I didn't notice the queen defending the rook in the previous analysis. So we do this check. If king there, I take your rook and say, that's enough for a win. I declare myself victorious at this point. And if check here, check, king here, check, king here. Now the queen is defending that rook, but we throw in this in between check. You block with the knight, don't you? If you block with the queen, I take your queen. If you block with check, if you don't block, then you're going to get checkmated, I think. Yeah, your only other legal move is result in checkmate. So you block with the knight. So presumably I take... No, I need to attack your rook with my queen first. Recalculating. Here, here, take, here, check, here. These are all basically forced from my side of the board, aren't they? Or here, here, check, here, queen takes rook. Can I declare victory at that point? You have a knight and 2 pawns, and I have a rook. I don't know, is that good enough for victory? Here, what's going on? Here, here. Yeah, if it's a queen and a rook on here, it's okay. What if I just take it? Threatening queen near checkmate. Is that enough? Can I declare victory? It's pretty close to checkmate. It's very hard for you to defend. So let's say you guard that square to prevent checkmate. Don't I have like 12 other checkmates? Oh yeah, rook here is checkmate as well. So recalculate. Here, 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 here. Rook takes rook. So I'm threatening rook here checkmate, queen here checkmate. Those 2 checkmates. How do you prevent both of those checkmates? And I'm guessing you can't do it with your queen or knight or any pawn move except that one. So here, 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 here. So pawn push. Now, is there a checkmate here? Almost certainly. Queen check, king forward, rook here is checkmate. Yeah, I think that's the line then. Here, 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 here. No, this square. That one, you just get crushed. All right. Take the here. Rook takes, and there's a bunch of checkmates on the table, and I don't see how you stop them. All right, queen takes rook. Rook takes rook, and I don't see how you stop that checkmate threat and this checkmate threat. Oh, this one's not a checkmate threat because your queen can block. But at the same time, if I have a queen and you have a knight, I'm quite comfortable with that position. I'm declaring victory. All right, so rook takes rook, and very fortuitously, you don't have any checks. Oh, engines. Right, that'd be nice. Unfortunately, it's pinned. So how do we unpin? We take the knight. And then take this. All right. Oh, wow, it's a double check. So we take the knight with a revealed double check. Okay, so you go here. So what are you threatening? Nothing's in particular. So I could I do something like here? No, this one? So queen, let's say queen blocks, take, knight takes here. What's material? I'm up in exchange. You have a rook and two knights. I have two rooks and a knight. And I have many more pawns. So that's not a bad option. I do know your knight is just hanging. So here, let's say here. What if I go queen, sorry, queen check, queen takes, knight takes. So now your rook is just hanging. If you take my knight, I take your rook. And if you don't take my knight, then I move it away to safety, do I? So here, and then knight runs to safety. Sort of. Unconvincing. Right, we've got this check, king here. Check. You've only got one legal move. Did that help? Not really. Right, we'll check. And if you go here, fork. Well, that's interesting. What if we do this check instead then? All right, recalculating. So here, fork, game over, resign. So here, king in the corner. That's king in the corner. And if I take here, your bishop's hanging, your knight's hanging, your rook's or not really hanging. I could just take the knight. Why don't I just take the knight? Because you take this. So here, take the knight. Oh. King takes fork. Why don't I just take the knight? And just say that's enough material for me to win. Thank you. I mean, you don't have a massive attack. I mean, it looks kind of massive, but like, not really. You can't get your rook to attack that square. So it's a pseudo attack. Here, here, here. What's wrong with that? I have two rooks, a queen, and a knight, and you have two rooks, a queen, and a bishop. Wow, am I two pieces down to start off with? Yikes. So now it's starting to make sense. All right. Here in the corner. What alternatives are there here? So much material here. Here. Your knight's hanging. Is that enough to declare victory? Winning a bishop and a rook. Starting off down two knights. Or two minor pieces. Wow, this is so hard to calculate. I presume my opponent just captured something, right? Captured a knight. All right. I don't see a checkmate, right? The queen's going to stop everything, and I've only got a queen and a knight. It's not enough by itself. Here, if you take here, I'm not winning that, am I? Is your knight trapped? No, it's not. Oh, you can't take with the queen because it's a double check. So, yeah, you can move one way or the other. I mean, maybe here is fine as well. All right, bishop. I guess maybe I just want to take as much material as possible. So here, revealed check. Maybe you block with the rook. So your rook's no longer attacked. And I take here, and I declare victory. Knight there. Is that enough material? I'm not sure. What if you block with the queen? Queen takes, rook takes, knight, rook. I think that's enough material to declare a win. If I could get the queens off the board. All right. I win a bishop and a full rook. And you don't have an obvious way to attack that square. And attacking any other square that's like super duper defended. All right. I think this is correct. We're just getting materialistic and taking as much as we can. Here. And I presume you defend your knight, or get your knight out of danger, because I still can't take your rook. Yeah, also that rook is part of the attack, isn't it? What's that? That's a pin. Ah, recalculating. Wow, wow. I miscalculated. I did not see this at all. I thought that was not possible because it was defended by a pawn. Take, wow. And if don't take, you take here with a gain of time, or you just play checkmate. Yeah, so if I do something like this to prevent checkmate, you take there, yeah, take here, here. So I've got two rooks and a knight versus a queen and a knight, and I got a whole bunch of pawns. How weak are your pawns, your pawns? How weak are your pawns? I really need to know. I think I'm forced to take this whether I like it or not, actually. Here, take. What's the chances of this knight getting trapped? High. Oh, if you move the knight, bang, game over, I win. And if you don't move the knight, can I just... Yeah, actually, that'll be alright. I'm forced to take, otherwise you're taking here. And I'm in a lot of trouble. There's no... Oh, hold on. Can I defend the rook? Checkmate, right? You're threatening checkmate. Yeah, I'm forced to take. Alright, so I think I just take the rook. Two rooks and a knight, and I think I'm going to be bashing through here in quite soon. So pawn push. Let's say you try to escape in some way. Sorry, knight here. Yeah, so maybe here, pawn push, I just take this pawn. Make sure my knight doesn't get trapped. Wow, that was super duper hard. Right, queen there, threaten checkmate. Threaten checkmate on this square as well, right? Not 100% sure. There may be some justification in here, or taking. No, this check, king back, nothing, right? No follow-up. There is a bishop here. You can't block with the pawn, but you can block with the knight. Yeah, that's adequate. All right, let's consider this one. Here, here, queen here. All right, so we're hitting the rook and threatening. It's not really checkmate, is it? You get out to this square. No, not good enough. Here, bishop takes king. So you can't take queen there. That's a king, by the way. I suppose I should note. Ah, and then you just take here. If rook takes, fork. If queen takes, I don't know. I don't know. Hold on. What about knight takes here? Or in this line? So here, do you have anything? What are your alternatives? Oh, you have knight there. Yeah, knight f6 is strong. So we can't just allow knight f6. So what are our options on the table? Bishop takes here. Here, now knight f6 is no good because queen takes rook. Maybe it's still okay. I don't know. I want an exchange and a pawn. Here, here, here. So double threat. But let's say you just move your rook to f6. Queen takes, king here, check, here, here. That's a problem because the knight defends that pawn. Here. I think that's the end of that line, right? Knight f6. There's nothing else really. Bishop takes, king here. I have to move my queen. And then what? And then nothing. I'd have to move the bishop and then get a fork. It's too slow. Yeah, no, too slow. All right. Here, 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 here. Bishop, knight. What could it be? Knight there attacks that weak spot, but the knight defending. There's a lot of defense going on here. This is far from obvious. Queen here. Queen there, knight preventing checkmate and attacking the queen. And I think that's the end of that story, right? There's no like wacky queen sack, is there? No, surely there's no wacky queen sack. Knight takes, knight takes. Knight takes queen with check. Wow, there might be a wacky queen sack. Can there really be a wacky queen sack? It wins a pawn. Is that enough? Here, knight takes pawn. Hitting the queen. So if you take, I just go, alright, I win an exchange. Here, knight takes, you take my queen, I take your queen with check. And do you have any shenanigans? You don't seem to have any shenanigans. Pawn push, bishop takes. The knight's on that square. It's not helping. So king there. Yeah. But maybe we're getting to the crux of this matter. So let's go knight takes immediately. If rook takes, queen f3 perhaps? No, queen f3 you block. So let's do queen here, going for a scholar's mate. So knight takes, rook takes, queen here, knight here. So if rook doesn't take, yeah, that's dangerous. I'm not sure if it's losing, but so it hits the queen. If you don't take, let's say you go here. Here. I don't know. I'm taking second pawn with revealed check. Yeah, I think I can declare that as winning if I win 2 pawns. So here you're forced to take with the rook and thereby pin your own rook. All right. Queen here, threatening taking here and checkmate. So you could do shenanigans like this, right? Oh, but then I take, check. If you go f6, or maybe, I don't know. Let's recalculate. Here. Queen, pawn blocks, queen f3. Oh, you block with the queen, don't you? You block with the queen and nothing. Yeah, I don't really have an ability to add another attacker on this rook besides the queen, and the queen can be adequately deflected in one way or another. Yeah, here. Bishop takes king here. I'm just running out of pieces. I've sacrificed my knight and my bishop, and it's not good enough. The king prevents here. Let's sacrifice third piece and see what happens. King here. And I don't know, pawn push check. Let's say king back. Oh, revealed attack with the rook. Let's say king here. It is a double check as well. Rook takes rook. Well, I got the rook at the end of that line, didn't I? All right. Here, rook takes. Queen here. Pawn push is what I'm thinking of. Can you defend? You could defend it, the rook thusly. Yeah, you can just defend the rook, can't you? Bishop, queen here. Yeah, queen there defends the rook. Not good enough then. So here, bishop back. All right, let's consider that. Here, if rook takes, yeah, you can just take it, can't you? Here, threatening here and here. All right. So, pawn push, hitting my queen, defending here. Wow. What else could it be? Queen here, knight, and nothing. Knight, I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it. Here, check, back. Be nice if I could do a rook lift, but it's not going to happen. Oh, maybe I can do this rook lift. Here, F4. I'm very unconvinced that this is going to work, but so for example, here it defends the square I really need. All right, what else is there on this board? Black has 0 loose pieces. This could be attacked by a bishop because the rook can't move at the moment, but So was it queen there? No, queen there was just knight here. Knight takes, knight here with check. King moves, right? King moves. Knight takes knight. Pawn takes. Can I declare myself the winner? Not really. And if this pawn pushes, that one's probably possible because I got this. So here, knight takes pawn, knight takes queen. This is probably the most likely one. All right, so we have one. We've given up our queen, but we have 5 revealed checks with no good blocks. But I can't repeat. I don't have a windmill. Oh, hold on. Recalculate. Here, knight. Knight takes queen, knight takes queen with check. King here, knight check, king back. Here, winning a second pawn. I do have a windmill. Yeah, I do set up the windmill. Okay, so here, knight takes, and that sets up a windmill. All right. Wow, I hope I've got this right. Knight takes, setting up a windmill. So you take my queen, I take your queen with revealed check. Wow. So I go back and win this pawn and say, I won 2 pawns. I declare myself the victor. I won 2 pawns. I'll take here, I guess, and I don't know. We'll recapture in some way. I don't know. What else is there? Check. Oh, well, if you do that, it makes it easier. Right, 57. Oh, apparently this is my record. Or at least, if I remember correctly, this is my record. Right. So first we need to scope out this position. What's this queen doing? It's a bit offside, isn't it? I do notice that bishop is a key defender of that square, which would be checkmate. My rook is not really doing much besides preventing checkmate. All right. I am noticing if my queen were on this square, it'd be checkmate. So it's very likely I'm going to move my queen to one of those squares. None of them seem to mean anything though. Oh, I am noticing that that's a nice square for my bishop. Nevertheless. All right, let's just go queen here and say, I'm going to threaten checkmate. What are you going to do about it? So if you move your bishop here, I'm just going to take and then take a bishop and say, I am up a bishop. Okay. If you move a bishop here, or no, because you move your bishop anywhere, that's still checkmate because a rook guards that square. All right, queen here, any bishop move still is checkmate. Okay. So you can't take any rook move to any square, checkmate. Any queen move to any square, checkmate. Wow, pawn moves, those are still checkmate. All right, so you must play that move or this move. So let's say here, there is a bishop defending that square. And then nothing. And then nothing. Surely this is the right idea. So let's say here, threatening taking checkmate, you'll probably take my rook. I will take your rook. That pawn is defended. The queen, a king defends the bishop. Not good enough, son. Not good enough. All right. Here, take, king takes. Queen check. King is on one of those squares now. And then what? I need to get this rook in the action. All right, maybe we'll look at this one instead. Yeah. Rook, rook. You take my queen. Queen here, pawn push, rook takes, queen here, attacking the rook. You don't seem to have a way to defend the rook, so the rook will need to move. Where's the most aggressive square? Here, hitting my queen, forcing me to move my queen, and I don't have a good square to move it to. Yeah, that's not good enough, is it? Queen here, pawn push. Yeah, if you do this pawn push, yeah, you're going to lose a bishop, aren't you? At least. So here is forced. I could also go to this square, should it be better. For some reason I haven't figured out yet. So queen e4, c6 is basically forced. My rook is just hanging. Don't leave me hanging. Anyway, let's go take, check. So maybe you want to defend that pawn. So here, and then I attack it with the bishop. You can't defend it with the queen, can you? You can't defend the pawn. And now this is on the table as well. All right, let's here, pawn push, take, here, check. All right, let's go there. Oh, maybe I just put my rook pointing at your king with a revealed attack. You have no ability to attack my rook, right? Without like giving away your queen or something. Right. That could be it. What does black do? I have no idea. All right, rook here, hitting my queen. Bishop, revealed attack on the king. I think you would play here. Queen check. Only legal move. Checkmate. All right. That idea does have a bit of oomph to it. So let's recalculate. Queen here threatening checkmate. We calculated the only possibility is c6. Rook takes bishop. King takes. Queen check. Let's go there, this move. All right, so instead of rook d1, let's go bishop e3 attacking this pawn. Yeah, you have no ability to prevent queen takes pawn and rook d1. Black has no light square control. Your queen cannot attack that square without giving itself up. Or could you go here and defend that? Recalculating. There's also this and preventing it that way. But you can't defend this square. You have no ability to defend that square without giving up things or just going, no, my own pawns are in the way. All right, so here, pawn push, take, king takes, queen check, king here, bishop here. Now, if you go here, I take and you get checkmated next move. So you can't do that. You can go queen here, check, king here if you don't want to get checkmated. Still very, very close to checkmate. Check. So those are your legal moves with the king. So let's say king here, check, here. Oh, I'm not sure if it's game over. But I'm pretty sure we're onto the right track here. Queen e4. Hold on, I said all bishop moves. That just gives away the bishop though, doesn't it? Yeah. Here, here. Take. Here. Check. Here. Yeah, bishop here. I just want queen takes there, check. Queen here. I can't get my rook in the action, which is really annoying. But queen takes, king here. Queen check. So, yeah, I don't think you're going to go to that square. You could go to this square. Sort of. King there, queen check, king back. So if you go to this square, if at the end of that line the king goes to this square, and the queen over here. So what does white do? Yeah, so queen here prevents rook across, getting the rook in the game. All right, so recalculating here, 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 king there. So if we do rook across immediately, we just get chased away, and I don't think we have a future. Yeah, there's nothing along this line, right? Even if we get the check in, it's nothing. All right, so here, rook takes, king takes, queen here, bishop, queen block. No, oh, queen preventing this, rook d1. Yeah, I think queen takes is basically forced. There's not much else to even think about. And then, sorry, king goes to this square, right? Otherwise, rook e1 is also powerful. I mean, should I just check and take this pawn? So let's say king there, check, queen box, check. That is a lot of pawns. My bishop's hanging. No, it's not. That's a king. Maybe. Like a bishop and 1, 2, 3 pawns for an exchange. Like an exchange for 3 pawns might be worth it. All right, I think that's the move here, and rook takes, so we get this check. All right, wish me luck. And then rook takes. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure this is correct, but and I just win all 3 pawns, right? Facilitating this check and attacking this, and goodbye kingside or queenside. Here, and you have no ability to defend there, and I'm coming in, and I think you go queen here to prevent this. All right, bishop e4. There, check. And that's the only move that is not checkmate. And I think I just check and gobble up a bunch of pawns. Yeah, my bishop's hanging, so I have to do it with check. But if you block with your queen, if you don't block with your queen, your king's going to one of those squares. It won't be that one, otherwise I get, oh. Oh, maybe I can drop my bishop back and come in this way. Yeah, anyway, I'm pretty sure this is the move. There's nothing else to consider, right? So take here, bishop back, threatening this. So I can force that through. Yeah. So we don't do the checks, we threaten it this way. All right. Yes! All right. Is this going to be an easy one? Knight takes. Only legal move is take, check, mate. Are you serious? Knight takes. There are no... Oh! Rook takes with check. Snake A. Okay, snake A. Alright, so queen takes rook. If you take, checkmate. If you don't take... I take your rook next move. You have 0 meaningful checks. Snake A. Pawn push. Checkmate. Pawn push. Checkmate. Alright, so any pawn move is a checkmate. The only rook move you have is checkmate. Take my queen, checkmate. Queen moves. There are really a few queen moves, and you either give away your queen or checkmate. Alright, queen takes rook. Alright. I say or, otherwise, but it's still checkmate. Alright, that one was surprisingly easy. Right, so we have a battery going on here. This is not some sort of revealed attack because your queen is defended. We have a check here which looks very natural, and the king must move to one of those squares. It's unclear what the follow-up is after that. My rook is simply hanging, so it's very natural to play that. What else is on the table? I don't see another move even worth considering. So here, if you go here, I've got queen checks on those squares. You can block with your... No, you can't. I take a bishop. All right, so here, if you go here, check, you block with the pawn. If you block with the pawn, I don't know what to do. All right, recalculate. Check, king here. This check, block with the pawn. Okay. Check, king here. Pawn check. So the advantage of this is if you en passant, then check. Yeah, you can't block with the rook. Oh, your queen is defending here now, so you can block with the bishop. Oh, wow. Yeah, if this pawn was on the board, you would defend here. But normally you can't block with the bishop because with the rook on that square, because I take it with the queen. All right. Here is that the end of the world as well? Oh, it means this is on the table. Let's say king there, rook back. That looks like checkmate to me. No, you got king here. It looks pretty checkmatey. Rook there, bishop guards there. Nothing's guarding here. You can go here, and that one's checkmate. All right, so here check. So pawn takes. Does it change anything? Probably not. Probably makes it easier. You've got those squares, or you can go back. So here, here. Sorry, rook here, here, pawn. So you could go back. So whatever checkmate I saw previously, I'll need to see it here as well. But I haven't seen it. I guess I am assuming it is a checkmate and not something other than a checkmate. It feels like there should be a checkmate if the king's there. Here, but king here or king here with the idea of going back to that square are both on the table. All right, I need the bathroom. How long have we been going for? 2 hours, 22 minutes. Pause for a second, I need the bathroom. Right, where were we? Right. So are there candidate moves other than this? I don't see any purpose in leaving the rook hanging. That rook is going to be essential. Check. Check. If bishop check, you take my rook. And I think I reject that move. Check, king here. Queen check, pawn push. Queen here. I don't know, threatening checkmate on that square. Oh, and on that square. So when you get a situation where there's, I don't like that color, here, here, you threaten 2 checkmates at once, it can be quite powerful. How do you prevent both those checkmates? So sometimes that's just the end of the puzzle when you threaten 2 different checkmates at once. All right. So here, 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 queen there, pawn block, queen here. How do you how do you prevent both those checkmates? Let's just try to figure out how to prevent queen there checkmate first. Do you have any checks or shenanigans? I can give up the queen if you like. I'm perfectly comfortable with you doing that. That would be the end of the puzzle. So, okay, here, here, check. So if you do this, it'll be checkmate, surely. In one way or another, I don't think I need to calculate that to the end. Here, here, check, pawn push. Yeah, nothing other than pawn push, right? If you go here, yeah, nothing other than pawn push. Block with the bishop, checkmate. All right, here, here, check, pawn push, queen here, threatening 2 different checkmates. If you want to stop that checkmate and that checkmate, you could play queen here, and then your queen gets captured. This square and this square you need to defend at the same time. I don't see how. Could you play queen takes bishop? Queen takes bishop. Checkmate. So it doesn't stop that one. The rook is blocking this diagonal. So the rook's on this square. So we're going to put our queen on this square, hitting this one. So you'd have to do here, would you not? And allow that checkmate. I think we've got it. I think we've got it. Rook here, king here, check. So there's a pawn push here. And I don't see how you stop that checkmate other than this and allow the other checkmate. Okay, so here, here, we need to consider the other square as well. Here, 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 let's just say moving here. Oh, well then I can just do this and it's just a check. And I still have the same two checkmates. If you block, this is checkmate. And if you don't block, that's checkmate. All right. So here, the alternative was king here. So pawn push, we have to consider taking and not taking. Note there is a bishop over here. So I don't have a bishop check. So if you go back, does the same idea work? Check. So blocking with the bishop, checkmate. Ah, okay, recalculate. Check, king here, pawn push, pawn takes. Pawn takes, king here. I feel like this should be an easier checkmate. Queen here is checkmate. Yeah, all right. So you can't take with the pawn because this is checkmate. Even though it facilitates this defense, it makes this game over. Here, here, check. So you can't take with the pawn. So your legal moves are here, here, here. So king here, we're doing the same thing, check. So your only legal, or you block with the bishop, checkmate, I take it. Pawn push, here. Same idea. Pawns are on little, a bit different squares, but it's not a big deal. Threatening this checkmate and this checkmate. How do you stop both of them? Probably the same thing, you just can't, and I win. And here, 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 you go to that square. Does it change anything? You can't go to that square, there's a rook here. You go to that square, so it changes things in the sense that I call the arbiter. All right. Here, 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 here. We do need to calculate this. So the only move worth considering is rook, king here. Rook check. So you've got that square or that square. So that one would just be checkmate after there. So you go to, all right, I have to recalculate, I get lost. Check, king here, rook back, check, king here, check. That square. The king is back on its original square. And then, what? Did that help? Not really. Back on its original square, and I don't have any good checks that I can see. So I've made a mistake somewhere. Here, here. Check, king here. Is there a better move? Rook check, king here. Instead of rook here, what about pawn push? So king back to its original square. Rook checking on this square again. Here. And now I don't have queen here check. I have pawn push. And you take my rook. No, pawn push. My rook's on this square. King here. Rook back again. King here. Rook check. King here. I just realized this pawn is pinned. So none of that was sensible. All right, here. King forward, pawn push, king here. Is there a win? Or do I just do the same thing? Queen here. So threatening, what am I threatening? Check. And you can't block. Is there something better? Here, 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 here in the corner. Can I just move my queen to somewhere useful? Wow, I don't see it. I don't see the move. Here, here. Is there anything to consider besides g6 check? Is there anything to consider besides g6 check? I don't think so. If I check on that square, the king bows back. I can't check on that square, it's hanging. I don't have any queen checks, and I don't think I can not check. So here, and those ones were pretty much checkmate, but if you go in a corner, rook check, king here. Ah, recalculating with this check, this pawn push check. Yeah, recalculating with that pawn push check, your king goes back to this original square. Then we do this check. You can't move forward, you can't move side. You have to go precisely that square. And then we do what? Here, 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 here. Rook check, king here, pawn check, king here, rook back, king here, check, pawn push, and we're back to threatening checkmate on those two squares. Right, I think we've found it. I think we've solved it. So this is definitely the move. Oh, so we're doing that one, which is the easier one, wasn't it? Here, pawn push, here. Just threatening checkmate on that square and that square. I don't see anything else. Here, threatening checkmate on two different checkmates. All right, wish me luck. All right, so yeah, you're just gonna check and check and check and whatever. 60, we got 60. All right, look at that bishop. That's the best bishop I've ever seen. All right. That's a, like, it would be nice if that rook was on that square, wouldn't it? I can't move it on that square. You just take it. Here, take. Here, take. All right. That's a bit, oh, hold on. What's going on here? What's going on here, Sonny Jim? What is going on there, Sonny Jim? I'll just take a bishop. I mean, is that the puzzle? It could be the puzzle. If it was lower rated, that could very well be the puzzle. Is your queen trapped? So queen here. I don't think you can just allow checks willy-nilly. Check. Like, you block with the queen, and when you're queen, you move it, boom, and you're in, no, which one should I do? Maybe rook takes pawn check. Block. Wow, all right. That got complicated quickly. So I want to remove a defender of here. So rook takes rook, rook takes, queen takes, bishop takes. And I have a rook and a bishop, and you have a rook and nothing else. Did you get it? Rook here, queen here, check. So I suppose I should consider take, and rook takes here. Is that bad for something, for some reason? Maybe I don't see it. I mean, that seems fine as well, right? I win a bishop. I don't see any obvious counterplay here. What else is on this table? What if you go rook here? No, I take with check. Yeah, you can't do that. What's bishop pinning my rook to my queen like? No, I take with check. Here. If I just go here, no, that's good enough. So rook here. So your queen is, if it moves, it can only move to squares where it gets captured. And the only equivalent capture is this one. Is there a reason to do this check though? Check. You've only, or you can block with the queen, and I take your queen with the rook, which I'm quite happy with. I think that should count as a win. And if you move your king here, I find it very hard to believe you'll survive. But I don't know, I'll probably just do this, can't I? And then you block with the pawn, and then this, and you have to take, and then you're losing a rook in addition to that as well. Could very well be checkmate as well. All right, so I haven't seen any reason to consider a move other than this. The other one would be some sort of battery, but yeah. Rook here, shenanigans? Are there shenanigans? What shenanigans? Rook here, bishop takes. No, because I take your queen with check. All right, queen takes, bishop takes. You're losing. You are absolutely losing that game. Not even worth thinking about. All right, I think I'll just put rook there on the board and see what happens. Queen there. Oh, I didn't see that move. So the queen defends the bishop. No, I just simply did not see that move. Wow, that's a problem, isn't it? All right, so let's consider queen takes, bishop takes, rook here. It was lucky that puzzle didn't end there. I did not see that move. Rook here with the threat of check. It's a pretty simple threat, but check here. Rook there, sorry, bishop here prevents the check and attacks my rook. Yeah, I'm not such a big fan of that, but we can attack the bishop again. And you run away to, say, here. And then I've got this check, mate. Ouch. All right, here, here, here. Okay, pawn push, defending that square. Rook takes pawn, threatening checkmate on here. Renewing this threat. I find it very hard to believe you'll survive. Oh, no, I just take it. Are there other moves to consider? Rook defending queen. You can just take with the bishop, can't you? Rook here, pawn, sorry, rook check, pawn takes, or even queen takes. Yeah, here, you take my queen, and I don't have anything extra. All right, so queen takes here, rook here. All right, what if king moves? I don't know, it's brutal, right? I think it's going to be checkmate. King there, here. No, that's not worth considering. So here, 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 king moves here. Check. King in the corner, checkmate. Hold on, is it checkmate? Maybe it's not checkmate. But bishop blocks, take, rook here. I win a piece. All right, queen takes, rook here. So I want to just do this fork. What are you going to do? If you move to safety, do it anyway. And your king goes in the corner and disaster. Which disaster do I want? Maybe I will go here. Pawn push, bishop takes, rook takes, check, pick up the bishop. Oh, that's also checkmate. Rook blocks here, checkmate as well. Because with a rook here, I just need to check your king. All right, take, rook here. Anything else on this board? Is there anything else on this board? Here, my rook is defended. I can just win your bishop. So take. Yeah. So those are the squares the bishop can run to. I'm gonna run to g2. So, or wherever. I'm gonna run to h5. So bishop h5. So if you move somewhere that doesn't prevent the check, it's going to be total disaster. You can't move there, it's free bishop. So here, free bishop. Queen takes here, rook here, bishop here. Yeah, that's the critical line because it hits my rook. So I need to move this rook to attack your bishop. And you can't defend the bishop. So bishop here, free bishop, bishop there, free bishop. So it moves to one of those squares, and then I get in my check. Oh, that's just a plain old, no, not that one. This one's a checkmate. You have to block with the bishop, checkmate. All right, I think that's it. Rook here. I want there, this, take. And now you've got to deal with this checkmate in addition to this checkmate. What's next? What's next? Is there anything I'm missing? I don't think so. And in here, and maybe you just pawn push and I take a bishop. Yeah, I take a bishop, right? And at least you survive. 61! All right. Oh, too bad I can't play that, hey? All right, so obviously the puzzle is how do I get that in? Oh, you can block as well. Not that straightforward. All right, queen takes, rook takes, not worth considering. So, them's me legal moves. Them's me legal moves. And I'm supposed to win this in some way. So presumably king up. So you don't have checks on this diagonal. My rook covers there, my queen covers here. So here, you don't have checks on here. Dark square, you do have checks. Sorry, dark square, you have this check, sorry. And there's a fork as well. Okay, that one's out. Here, I have to deal with this check. Here, it's not doing anything, right? It's safe, but safe is not going to cut it in this puzzle. All right, so king up, rook there looks natural. Oh, you can't do that because take, fork, and I win this rook. But we need to... No, the queen defends this rook as well. So there's no... white has no counter forks. Right, so recalculate. Let's go king here. Because that's safer. That's a safer square. Because our queen's going to end up on this square. If here, take, here, fork. Let's king move to somewhere where it doesn't check. Here, here, take, check. Here, take here, defending the rook. And you don't have any checks because of this handy little pawn. Covering that diagonal. This pawn covers that diagonal. Oh, you've got pawn push. Still, I'm a little bit unconcerned about pawn push. I mean, queen here. All right, so king here. How do you prevent checkmate? Question 1. You have no checks. Aside from giving away your queen. No checks. Your queen's on light squares. It'd have to move forward or sideways to move to a dark square to check. So no diagonal checks. Yeah, no checks. White has no checks. I'm threatening mate in 1. I do not see any way to prevent mate in 1 except for this. Or giving away your queen. And then it's going to be like mate in X. So king here, here, take. All right, if you don't take, the mate in 1 threat's still on the table. Yeah, so you have to take it here, here. So that's the correct square, just because there's king's safe and there's no checks. And it's going to take me a little time to unravel, but I need to be careful. Sorry, did I say queen here in one of these lines? The king had moved here. That would just hang my queen. All right, so king here. Rook blocks, rook takes, king, let's say there maybe. Queen takes rook, pawn push. What do I do about that? I kind of feel like I could go rook here. So maybe you want your king on this square. Unclear. It's probably quite vulnerable on every square. All right, I think that's the correct move. The other legal moves are just going to allow more counterplay after the fork. For example, here, 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 here. King moves somewhere, here. And then I have to deal with your checks, which you don't seem to have very many, but maybe you just come in and cause shenanigans. I'm going to go in the corner. I hope it's not really a corner. I hope it's not a mistake, but let's see. All right, let's have a look where I went wrong. So, analysis. So you have to move forward. Why would you not? I moved in the corner. Rook F. Oh, I just didn't see that at all. You can block the checkmate with there. But if you go here, here, bang. All right, I just did not see you could block it. No, I deserve to get that one wrong because I did not see it. All right. This may be the end of my streak, but we'll see. All right, well, check. King one of these squares. Here. I don't know. Do you have a perpetual? Wait, that's checkmate, right? Pawn guard there, queen guard's there. Right, so my king can't come here and allow your queen to checkmate me on this square. You may have a perpetual. What else do we have on this table? Do we have a removal of defender? You're not defending anything though. And what's going on here? Oh, maybe I'm unconcerned about this because I can go check and pin. What if I just go here? Where does your queen go? Your queen goes here. And that's pretty brutal, isn't it? Yeah, that's probably going to lead to checkmate. I have knight here, don't I? Defending that square, attacking the rook. All right, well, anyway, let's consider an more obvious move. Here. So I'd like to play one of these, but what's the point? Here, rook here. Well, it does threaten moving the bishop with checkmate. Is it checkmate? Pretty close to checkmate. So rook, maybe I go here. Something like that. Maybe we'll hold on. Should you go to this square? Here, run away. Check in here. Now, I'm not winning that. Even simply running away seems adequate. Let's return to the idea of trapping the queen. If I go here, oh, can you just take my bishop? Maybe. So here. No, you can attack there. Trapping the queen doesn't seem to work. Oh no, I'm struggling. I'm struggling to even see a candidate move. Other than check. So let's say king here. Bishop check. Aha, now we're thinking. So king here, I go here, and you're going to end up giving up your queen. All right, so here I think that's forced. All right. All right. All right, so here, and I'm threatening to move my bishop. So all your moves will need to be check. So here, I'm not taking with my knight, I'm moving my king, because I don't see a continuation once I get out here if your queen can't get there immediately. So queen check on that square, king here, you're out of checks. What if your king tries to run away? I have this check, preventing you escaping here, and you're going to get pretty close to checkmated, aren't you? All right, recalculate. Check here, check. Do you have any ability to block? Queen takes bishop. Rook takes. Rook takes. No. You have a rook and a bishop. I have a rook and a knight. Where's my queen? Wait, where's my queen? All right, here. Yeah, here. Check here. I think that's the line. Let's play it. So queen there with the threat of moving the bishop. Take. Rook takes. Is that a win? Potentially not. Should I move the bishop first? I need to move it to this square to control over here. What if I do this first? Then you've got this and you can take my rook. Then again, if I move the bishop, I can just take your queen, take your rook for free. My knight is hanging as well. But yeah, you can't block. You'll have to go here and you'll get checkmated. Bishop moved versus rook. Rook. So what if this check immediately? Yeah, that one. That one's very powerful. Rook here, queen check. I don't have a defense. If knight blocks, I'm going to get checkmated. If king here, you take my knight with check, and it's going to be a disaster. And if king in the corner, rook check, knight takes, back rank mate. All right, so we reject this move. We consider this move because we're threatening check mate-ish. So if, say, queen takes knight, check, king here, you block with the rook, checkmate. All right, bishop here. Bishop there, if you do the same thing, now my back rank remains covered, I just go here. And that's it. That's the end of that story. So this is the correct move order to maintain a safe back rank mate. A safe back rank. And if you, I was like, oh, free rook, that'll do. And I'm still got this threat coming in. Yeah, all right. All right, I think I'm ready to play bishop here. I don't see any good follow-ups. Check here. All right, bishop. All right, 61. What was the correct move? 61 was my the length of my streak. What was the final one I missed? Rook was correct. Bishop a5. I didn't consider other moves. I thought we had to come here to make sure the king just doesn't walk out. So here I thought, what if the king just walks away? Oh, do we do this then? Is the idea? What does the engine say? Yeah, then we change our mind and say, psych! King f8, f6, one of these things. Oh, that's checkmate. All right. So we don't just take the queen. What's taking the queen actually like? We're still winning even if we do take the queen. Okay. Yeah, all right. I failed to consider alternative squares. So we moved here. So what was the defense for here? Queen d4 check, king here. Wow. I missed that single move. Rook c8. So here you take the bishop. I missed it. I missed it. Oh well. That's the end of the puzzle, isn't it? Here we are. I got 61 in total. And I got 3 wrong. That's my high score. Well, that was a bit of a marathon. 3 hours, but we got there. We got there. 61's my record. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. TTFN.